Hey Ben, I just wanted to show you what can be done if you are willing to have the patience to um, set something up on your computer using the same computer you have. And basically, I'm using XSplit VCam and connecting my phone to use as a webcam. So that's how I'm doing that. And I'm gonna go ahead and stream a little Star Realms, starting out with it being their turn. And they got a cutter right off the bat, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna check. We're just playing with the core set. So that was a very good move. Now normally I really want to get the supply bot, but I feel like the freighter is such an unmitigated amazing. Oh my gosh, and I got the trade bot. I feel like scrap is, I always consider this probably the second most important. First most important is get more money to be able to acquire more things. And after that is scrap, making your deck streamlined. So, you know, money helps you get bombs, scrap helps you get consistency. So now I have a choice. Imperial Frigate is a very solid card versus Missile Bot. Got no white cards so far, so I guess I'm just going to favor Missile Bot because, like I said, you can get your deck very streamlined with enough scrap. And I'm pretty much guaranteed to be able to get a Frigate now because they flipped another one. I'm assuming he's going to take it too. It's not like he's just going to buy 2 Explorers. I actually try to avoid Explorers as much as possible. It's something that just kind of picked up along the way, although it's mostly getting my butt kicked and then Ben telling me, don't buy Explorers all the time, they're crap. Go ahead and discard this Viper. If you're really smart, you can decide to discard Scouts sometimes when you realize that, yeah, like in this case, that extra money wasn't necessary. But I have just lost too many games online while trying to stream or trying to narrate what I'm doing. So now I have decided I can't spend too long thinking about what to discard. I just sort of use those heuristics. So I'm not really in green right now, but I will go for that trade pod for sure. And thanks to him making me discard, it's a very easy choice of scrapping something. Oh, I've got 7 money. So I can either go with the Dreadnought, which is on color, but doesn't proc an ability, or the Mothership, which is 100% off color and is a better proc ability. So kind of talked myself into getting the Dreadnought because I already have enough yellow cards to make it worthwhile. I think eventually, if I play this enough, I will learn to say the actual faction names and not just their color. So, like I said, I really like the trade pod, so if he doesn't take it this round, which he surely will, then I would pick it up. I've got a little bit of blue, so the Embassy Yacht could be an option. I've only got 1 blue. So I get the Embassy Yacht or the Destroyer. Well, like I said, I prioritize money early on, so I'm going to go ahead with that. Kind of weirdly feel like I haven't gotten to scrap a whole lot of things so far, even though I did get some scrap stuff. So with only 2 money, I'm considering getting an Explorer. I'm going to discard the Viper and then scrap it. He's getting a little bit ahead on life. He's certainly gotten more green cards than me, so I might have to consider going for bases. But he's got free destruction on the bases, so I could consider going blue, or I could just be more aggressive. It's such a balancing act. I think I am going to get that Explorer just because I feel like I've got the potential to get a few more bombs before we enter the late game scramble. But he is kind of tearing me a new butthole. I'm gonna go ahead and get this supply bot now. That card is excellent. I'm almost never sad to pick one up. Okay, so I've gotten rid of all my Vipers. I'm gonna start more aggressively getting rid of my Scouts. Need to remember to play my trade bot before the Dreadnought because it'll shuffle my whole library back in. I can acquire something for 7 money and put it on top of my deck. So I'm going to put the Mothership on top and then play the Dreadnought, draw it, play the Mothership. That feels like a really good turn. At least I believe I have more than enough. Oh man. Could have gotten the command ship. Mothership is good, but command ship's even on color. Do I go with the survey ship because it's just on color and I can proc some extra abilities? Not that heavy in weight where it's really that big of a concern. And the trade pod has its own merits, so we'll go that route. I didn't have enough money to get the survey ship, so I'm not entirely sure why I was having that debate. I think that does happen when you're trying to stream. Oh god, go for the command ship. He should have gotten the money from that and scrapped that and got the command ship. Command ship's good enough that you just gotta go for it every time. A lot of extra damage here. Go for the ram. We are kind of entering the end game here, so when you've got very few cards left, you gotta look at those abilities very closely where you can scrap a card, any scrap ability really. But when you've got very few cards left in your deck, excuse me, you gotta look at those when you've got an outside chance to draw a card. You know, when you've only got 4 cards left, you can narrow down the possibilities of what you're going to draw and say, I will for sure get a card of X quality. So I knew, for example, I could have, if I needed to get 1 more money, every one of my cards was either worth money or would draw me into money. Strangely enough, so because he discarded, he made this a very simple choice for me on what to scrap. And then I'm going to scrap this as well, just to get some extra damage in. And I'll take the survey ship. And I like cantrips. I used to be kind of addicted to them because Magic the Gathering taught me that cantrips are amazing. Turns out in this game you really don't want to waste your time on them early on, but I think they're a great way to spend your money later in the game when you don't have anything else to spend it on, because it gives you the opportunity to not dilute your deck. Wow. Holy crap. 3 cards. 3 money. Okay. 3 money could give me something, but I'd rather have an extra 3 life versus having an extra survey ship clogging up my deck. Probably. I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice my Dreadnought. I'm just getting so close to the end of the game that I only want highly impactful things. I'll pass on buying anything. With only 12 life left, I really can't afford to put more crap into my deck. Anything that's going to work, that's going to very slowly get me. He's got 8 damage in play. Oh, I am dead if he realizes it. Because he can sacrifice both of those bases. There's a chance he doesn't realize it, because I don't want to scrap my bases too much. If he sacrifices one, I know he's going to sacrifice the other, and I'll be dead. It's 8 plus 5 is... Yep, there we go. Good game. Alright. I'm going to just take a quick break and try and queue up the next match. Alright. Looks like my next match is going to come up pretty soon. Alright. Okay, I've got 3 money right off the bat. I'll use that to get a supply bot. As I just said last game, I really, really, really value the supply bot. I passed up a few times that I could have purchased it, but I feel really good about its quality. I do like valuing money. You just got a ton of money. I'm gonna go with this. I strongly considered getting the missile bot, especially because I already have 1 red card, but if you get 2 red scrap cards right back to back, sometimes you can eat through your money so fast that you end up having a hard time buying things. Let's see. I'm gonna have 5. I could have 6 money. Okay, that's worth forgoing a scrap to get this flagship. Ooh, port a call. Can't afford that next turn. So next turn I could theoretically get 2 missile bots. He'll, I'm sure, buy one of them. He could buy an explorer. I could buy an explorer. Maybe I'll buy a missile bot and an explorer. I really avoid buying explorers, but there's enough high money stuff out there that I'm having a hard time buying right now that I guess I'd rather... Holy crap. He's gonna put that trade escort on top. Oh, survey ship. Guess he's decided he doesn't want to be blue? He still got it. I'm baffled. Absolutely baffled that he didn't want to put that one on top of his deck. Okay, let's see what we draw. Gonna gain a lot of life here. And be able to kill that. Let's see, with 5 money, I'm no better off than 4 money. If I'm gonna get any green card, I guess I'd rather it be pretty impactful. Let's go with the free money. Just deal a little extra damage. One thing about the explorers that you can do is, if you feel compelled to buy them every now and again, you can just still be kind of aggressive in scrapping them so they don't clog up your deck. So I'm not going to scrap the Viper in my hand on this next turn because I have one in my discard pile. It's only 3 money. I think I'll go with the Blob World because you can sack it to get some extra money and maybe get a port of call or a central office. How much money? Looking at 5 next turn, but I get a free draw. Could technically get 8 if I drew Blob World, and then I could Blob Wheel. That is important. Ooh. Let me check the math on this. That is 5. I'm gonna first go a scrap again, because Blob World is a very fine lady. And at this point, that card is actually good enough that I will now prioritize getting green cards, because getting to draw 2-3 cards off of a base with 7 toughness. Sorry, I'm defaulting to Magic the Gathering terms. Oh, holy crap, he just cleaned out a bunch of really good green cards that I wanted. Sometimes it's good to steer clear of what your opponent's trying to grab. and sometimes it's good to go for the same thing. With it being a two-player game, it's got that dynamic. You know, if this was a 3 or 4-player game, say, you know, like when you're playing Monopoly, doing something that specifically screws over one player, you're expending a resource to hurt the other player, so you're both kind of down something. And, well, I guess Monopoly is maybe a poor example, but just to finish out what I was saying, expending resources to hurt someone else, if they're not the only other player, can be really poor strategy, because then you're both down resources compared to everyone else. When it's just 2-player, then it's perfectly tit for tat. Anything good for you is bad for them, and vice versa. So I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to proc some extra life. What am I likely to draw? Let's see, he can't destroy my thing. Anything I draw is going to be really good. If I get the blob wheel, I can get central office. If I get blob world, I'll have to think about whether I draw or damage. Blob destroyer it is. Awesome. Let's see, so I've got up to 5 money. I can't think of any reason why I would want 5 money. Yep, so I'll take the extra authority there. Be able to kill his bases. You know, it's funny, I hate buying Battle Station, but I also hate playing against it. Because it's so cheap, and then it's got 5 toughness. It's just something that can consistently soak up a lot of damage. But it doesn't do anything to advance your game strategy. It's a completely defensive move. Ugh, I have nothing to scrap. I think I am going to take the 2 draw. Beautiful. So I get to just destroy that for free. And barter roll this complete junk. I currently have no money. I could have up to 3 or 6, or I mean I could have a shit ton of. Yeah, I'm just gonna deal 15 damage. That feels like a good use. So unless he's got a real banner turn, he's gonna have to deal 16 damage in order to not have me proc this blob fighter. Well, he had 12. So that was pretty darn good. I need to get more green cards. With 3 money, possibly 6. I don't think I'm likely to sacrifice. I mean, I could have 7 and get central office. That just doesn't seem like it advances my game plan that well, if you know what I mean. How good is my free draw likely to be? Could be really junky. That extra 5 damage is probably more worth it. And then I could have up to 5 money. I'll get barter world. I'll do the 4 money option. And then I'll plan on scrapping that, to be honest. What would my next card have been? Just a scout? Yeah, not worth it. 7 money. So is he gonna get central office? You know, it's unfortunate. It's really not very good this late in the game. It's not even an outpost. Let's see, I'll scrap a scout. Can't believe there's still a frickin' viper in my deck. Let's see, I could have up to 5 money. I'll go with the Imperial frigate. Oh, didn't realize I had the game. Don't mean to toy with my food. Okay, so I lost my first game, and I won my second game. So I'm gonna try and go for a third win to third game to decide whether I am truly good or truly bad. Just take a quick break. Alright, I am back. I am going to do one last quick start, and I'll switch over to the game as soon as it's ready. I think sometimes prioritizing money can be a downfall. You know, there's some color combinations that if you're just buying the 4s, the 2s, 3s, and 4s, you can get way ahead. It can just really turn out in your favor. So from that perspective, it can almost feel foolish to continue to go for money while they're just racking up damage and getting to you first. And when you go for money, it ends up being, in some ways, a little bit more luck-based, because, you know, if the right cards aren't flipped, you know, you can have a ton of money and, oh, all I can buy is a bunch of low-value crap. So I would say there isn't one strategy that I consider to be like totally dominant. I think that I've got my preferences. I like those big plays. I like being able to draw a ton of cards, but you know, it's kind of up to you what you like to do. All right, game starting. I'm going second, and I've got 4 money. I will definitely be getting. I'll get the freighter. I like the supply bot a whole heck of a lot, but the freighter I treat as a card you cannot ever pass up unless you're buying the type of thing that you normally would buy with a freighter. And 4 money again. I'm gonna go with the supply bot. I'm so grateful that he let me get that. And just verifying we are playing with just the core set. Let's see, 4 money again. I might go for the ram over the survey ship. It's because it can be a big burst of money, and then when you don't need that big burst of money, it's just dealing consistent damage. The survey ship, it's like filling your deck up with air. You know, it's great if you got a bunch of bombs and you can cycle into them quickly. If you don't have those bombs yet, though, then, you know, how cool is it to draw into a Viper? Like, super cool. Like, super, I'd actually say not cool. Probably just getting both of these cantrips. For those of you who aren't familiar, cantrip, I think its origins actually date back to Dungeons and Dragons as a small spell that doesn't like take up, I guess, your spell slot for the day. For wizards, the way I'm using it, I started using it because I play Magic the Gathering, and in Magic the Gathering, cantrip means a spell that replaces itself. It doesn't cost you a spell because it draws you a card. Battle Blob is more good than it's more objective. 3, I would have 10. This is not enough to buy 2 things. I think I'm gonna go with Blob Carrier. Very, very tough decision there. Battle Blob does more damage, but its proc ability is a little worse. Drawing a card is worse than acquiring a card for free, putting it on the top of your deck. Battle Mech. Battle Mech is my love, but I mean, you don't want to pass up an opportunity when you've got 7 money. Do I even get the Explorer? I guess I will, just because there's a lot of high money stuff out there, but I feel bad about it. So, let's see, my Ram is going to be able to take care of the defense center. So I don't need to worry about keeping this Viper around. I can scrap it. I don't need to worry about drawing cards because I just shuffled. And I'm not going to draw anything that I would want to scrap more than the Viper. Let's see, I can sacrifice the Ram to have enough money to get the Battle Blob or the Machine Base. I'm honestly really not certain about that call. Although I can definitely get the Machine Base now if they don't buy it. And I think that is what I'll do. I'm not going to proc this ability, so I can't put anything on top of my deck. I have exactly 8 money. I think I will get this Imperial Freighter. I was kind of under the impression that I had a lot of yellow cards. I actually only had a survey ship and a Corvette, so kind of accidentally went forced yellow. Didn't quite realize I was doing it. See, I get a free ship, and I'm gonna have 5, 6, 7 money. Ugh, there's so many bases out there. I'm not gonna draw a card, so I'm gonna try to buy a base then. So let's get that. I was really hoping I'd be able to get a little bit of a higher value target than a frigate. Frigate. So let's get rid of this Explorer. I'm trying to streamline my deck. Just have white and yellow, or just yellow and green and red and blue. So just those 4 colors, no more. I did not even realize I was about to lose. So, I guess that proves that I suck at this game. I had no idea I was about to lose. He had 57 life left. That was an unmitigated disaster that I didn't even catch coming. Wow. So I always downplay the value of life gain cards, but that goes to show you I didn't pick up any incidental life gain cards, and I didn't happen to get any like real bases. And yeah, I got absolutely destroyed and didn't even realize it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and hope you have a great day.